Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Genevieve Davis. I'm the author of the Course in Manifesting series. It's finally happened, my public debut as Genevieve. Anyway, this video is only going to be about 15, maybe 20 minutes long, depends on how long I go on. And I really hope you can find time to watch it until the end. In this video, I want to focus on just one thing, really. And that is to introduce myself to you. But I really want to let you get a sense of who I am, because I feel this is really very important. So just for the benefit of those who may have tuned in here for the first time with no idea who I am, I want to give you a quick introduction. So for those of you who know me already, sorry, because this is going to be really boring, and thanks for your patience. Okay, my name is Genevieve Davis. It's a pen name. And under this pen name, I've written several books on what I like to call magic. I'm not crazy or stupid, I'm educated and I understand rational argument, but I also believe in magic. Yep, that's right, magic. I've used what I call magic to transform my life. My story is a real rags to riches tale, because 10 years ago, my life was very, very different to the way it is now. I spent almost my entire life hiding, basically, running from things, failing at things, getting into debt and getting into bad relationships. I'd lived a lot of my life as a victim. And at my lowest point, I was overweight, divorced and living alone in a tiny, scruffy flat. At this time, I was also working 12 hours a day. I was desperately in debt. I was working for minimum wage in a factory. And this was just to be able to eat and just to be able to keep on top of my credit card payments, which were just horrendous. Not only this, I was miserable, chronically depressed, lonely. But then, a few years ago, only just a few years ago, I made a discovery. I discovered something really simple, but really profound once you understand it properly. And if I could sum this up in one sentence, what I discovered was that when I changed me, the world around me seemed to change too. And this, it turned out, was huge. Because from that point on, I was no longer powerless. I was no longer a victim. And immediately that I made this discovery, things around me began to change. Life became easy. I became lucky. Everything started to go my way. I paid off my debts, I fell in love, and I moved house all within a year. Today, I own my own home on the south coast of England. I drive my dream car, literally my dream car. I'm in an impossibly, irritatingly perfect relationship. And I earn literally 20 times what I did a few years ago. I've taken my life from poverty, drudgery and loneliness to a life that's, well, you could describe it as idyllic. And I made all this happen by making changes to me and the way I showed up in the world. I did it by looking within to my own experience and to my own inner wisdom. So I've discovered there's a source of magic, power and potential inside every one of us. And this discovery woke up a fire within me, a power, a knowledge, a wisdom, a light inside, a light that now guides everything I do and the way I live my life. And you probably already know what I'm going to say. That same light lives within you too. Now, this process of discovering, of rekindling this inner light is something I like to call becoming magic. Hence the title of my first book, Becoming Magic. Now, for those who haven't read any of my books, I just want to make one thing very clear. I didn't make my riches from telling other people how to get rich. This is really important. I've always tried to be really clear on this point, because I've always tried to set myself apart from people who do that. A lot of people have got rich off the back of a book that tells you how to be rich. And for this very reason, I've always made a point of giving almost all the profit from my magic books away to charity. Now, you see, I write books under 4 completely different names in 4 completely different genres. My magic books aren't even the most successful of the bunch. I've also got a load of diverse businesses. So these magic books are very much the result of my success, not the cause of it. But here's a funny thing. I may have written 4 books about magic, but I'll be very honest with you. Until very recently, I never really knew what was going on when I did magic. I didn't know how it worked. I just knew that it worked, if that makes any sense. But then, in 2017, I had something of an epiphany, an awakening, if you like. And this awakening completely opened my eyes to the mechanics of magic. I had a clearer understanding of the world, of human experience, and of how this whole business of magical creation actually works. And at that point, my knowledge of the right way to do magic took a quantum leap. And since then, I've been looking for ways to pass this knowledge on, this viewpoint, this wisdom. I know so many people struggle so badly just trying to get through the day. I want them to see what I've seen. I want them to understand what I now understand. I want you to feel this incredible. I want your life to be this exceptional. This business of becoming magic is what I've been trying to get people to see over and over in all different ways ever since I first discovered how to do it myself. And as some of you know, the latest way I'm trying to do this is through a full online video course. A video program in becoming magic, taught by me. I'm going to show you exactly how I use magic. Whenever I want something to happen or when I want to create change, I want this course to prove to you that magic is real. Now, I always knew I wanted to announce this course with a webinar or a video or a public appearance of some sort. So when I was planning this, I started off by researching all the best ways of doing this. I looked at different webinar platforms and all sorts of different software. And I searched online for tips and tricks about how to run a really good event. Things like how to get people to like and share, how to craft sales funnels and how to make irresistible offers, how to use hooky language to keep them listening all the way through. And then I thought to myself, nah, they're not going to fall for that. That's not what my readers know me for. It's not what they like about me. And if I know my audience, you're going to spot sales patter a mile off. And I just can't do that. Now, at the same time, I was also fussing and fretting over how long the course was taking and that some of you had waited so long and so patiently. I so wanted to come across as professional and to do what a proper guru ought to do. And also I was trying to follow all this salesy advice. And I got all snarled up there for a bit. And then I stopped and I remembered. And I did what I always do when I get stuck in a mental tussle. I let go and I trusted that the answer would come to me. And that's when I realised the only way to announce this course was to show up, warts and all, in front of a camera and show people the real me. So, this video might not sound like other video or webinar events you've heard. It might not look particularly slick or professional. I really have no idea because I haven't taken any advice and I'm not following any established protocol here. I'm just trying to be me and a camera. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because I'm about to ask people to sign up and to spend money on something. And I'm genuinely not interested in selling my course to 1 million people if those 1 million people can't make it work. I want to make sure I only have people on the course who are really going to do well with it, who are going to resonate with the material and get really great results and then go and tell all their friends about it. That's what I want. So, with all that in mind, 2 things are important here. First of all, will you get on with the course material? And second, will you get on with me? So really, the whole purpose of this first video is for you to meet me, to get a sense of me, and to judge whether I might be someone you'd like to be taught by. This is going to be really, really important. Now, let me explain why I'm making such a big deal of this. You know, I often get asked to recommend books or teachers or approaches or techniques. I'm often asked, what are the best books for certain purposes? What are the best spiritual approaches? Who are the best teachers? And I think a lot of people expect me to suggest, you know, those books written by very famous spiritual old men and great thinkers or Tibetan monks and great gurus and so forth. You know the type I'm talking about. In fact, some people can be quite dismissive of the simpler law of attraction books like The Secret and Think and Grow Rich. But I don't agree with that disdain. I think books like The Secret are really valuable, and here's why. There are people out there now, new readers, and you might be one of them. And they're just starting on their journey into all this spiritual self-help book. Now, perhaps you picked up The Secret and it resonated with you. The Secret may have led you to my book, Becoming Magic. And Becoming Magic spoke of a different way of looking at things. It told you that you had the power to change your life. It piqued your interest and maybe it lit a little fire inside you. It maybe gave you hope. And so began your own journey. You're now on the journey towards a better life. But it took that first initiation into spirituality, often with a simple book like The Secret, to get you started. Now, who knows where this journey will take you? I don't know. But any journey has to start with one step. And that first step may well have been Becoming Magic or The Secret or Think and Grow Rich or some other law of attraction book. And this is why I believe almost all spiritual writing absolutely has an important role to play in helping people find peace and happiness and meaning in their lives. Because if it hadn't been for The Secret and Think and Grow Rich and all those other law of attraction books, I really don't think I'd be where I am today. When I started out, those books were what I needed to hear at that stage of my journey. They were what resonated. And this is really the main point of what I'm trying to say here. Because when you're looking for a guru or a coach, if you're trying to work out whether some teacher is the right one for you, it really doesn't matter whether that person has been on Oprah, or it doesn't matter if they have a fancy ashram in India. It doesn't matter how many books they've sold. All that matters is, does what that person says resonate with you? Do they speak to you? Do you click with them? The best teacher is the one that resonates with you. It makes no difference how well revered or respected or how well recommended they come. When they speak, if your ears don't prick up with interest, if a little light doesn't go on somewhere inside, if nothing makes you sit up and listen, then they aren't the right teacher for you. And there's a reason for this. This is all because of one indisputable reason, and it's this. Good teachers don't actually teach. Good teachers don't instruct. Good teachers don't pass on information. Good teachers remind. Good teachers awaken. Now, the course I'm about to launch is not much concerned with giving you new information. It's about me rekindling the fire that's already within you. It's about getting you to wake up and recognize the power that you already have. It's about getting you to remember that on some level, you already know how to do magic. Now, how exciting is that? But for this remembrance to happen, we need resonance between you and me. So, what sorts of things do I tend to say? Well, try this on for size. Within every person on this planet is a source of magic, power and potential that we can learn to tap into in order to create things we want and to live an all-round exceptional life. Every time you feel lost, like the world is conspiring against you, like nothing is going your way, like everything's going wrong, it just means you're misunderstanding your place in the world and the extent of your own personal ability to create change. A subtle change in you is all it takes to transform your world and your whole experience of being alive. Now, I'll be honest. Totally laying my cards on the table here, it's not always easy to do magic. So, in my books and courses, I'm never going to bullshit you with some easy, simple system. It kind of is simple once you understand the mechanism, once you get a feeling for how it works. But getting to that understanding is not always straightforward. Even with step-by-step instructions, it's not always straightforward. Let's see if I can explain this in another way. I want you to see the vital difference between following instructions and living instructions. It's the difference between attempting to do magic by following instructions and living magic by realizing the power only comes from you. Instructions are really only ever tools for helping you to get, to this place of understanding. This is what I'm talking about when I say magic is not something you do, magic is something you are. That's one of my favourite things that I like to say. And that, in a nutshell, is what this course is all about. And if any of that gobbledygook makes any sense to you, brilliant. You're my people and you're already halfway there. So, we're already coming to the end of this little video. I hope you've got a bit of a sense of the real me now, the woman behind the Genevieve persona. Because that's what this first video announcement was all about. I never wanted this video to be a big flashy production. I just wanted to sit in front of you and be real, to be true with not much planning, warts and all if you like. I did do my hair and put some makeup on, but I'm human. This is my public debut after all. But you lot are the very first to see me in the flesh as Genevieve. You've probably already read some of my books, but video is a very different animal. So, as a result of this, I want you to think about me as a teacher. As you're listening, I want you to ask yourself, does this woman talk sense? Do I warm to her? Can I trust her? Could I sit and listen to her for an entire course? In particular, ask yourself, is what she's saying resonating? Or are you just disappointed that I don't sound exactly like Fiona Hardingham, my wonderful audiobook narrator? Because I know that a few of you were hoping I was going to sound exactly like her. I wish I could speak as beautifully as she does. I really do. I'm so sorry if I've disappointed you in that regard. But a few other things. You should also know I'm not particularly woo-woo. I'm not particularly cosmic. I'm really not some mystical guru or a goddess type with, flowy robes and sparkly bits in my hair. Just a person. I really am just an ordinary person. Now, this might disappoint some of you, I know that. But some of the others will probably kind of like that about me. And if you do, then you are my people. I'm normal, I'm ordinary. But I'm hoping this ordinariness will work in my favour. And that it'll work in your favour. Because this ordinary, normal woman has found a way to change her life using magic. And if I can do it, ordinary as I am, then perhaps you can do it too.